We will be practicing a Surya Namaskara, sun salutation today. Might do a little variation from A to B, but mainly C. We're learning C. Make sure you really get C down pat. So we're going to be doing a little variation today. And remembering at any time if you need to come out, please just come to a seated position, standing position, or you can come into a Savasana position laying on your back. And we're going to play the edge, so we're not going to force or strive yet. We're not going to be couch potatoes. So we're going to be putting in some effort. And I like to use a rubber band. And be stretching that rubber band just enough to play the edge. And that allows us to gradually open up the body as we move through practicing yoga and holding our edge. We get a little bit more flexible, a little bit stronger every single day. So let's begin, and throughout the practice we're going to be engaging our bandhas, and we're going to be breathing through the lower abdomen. So I'm going to invite you to breathe through your lower abdomen for a moment. You can bring your hand to your abdomen, your lower belly. It's called belly breathing or abdominal breathing in your belly. We're triggering the parasympathetic nervous system and the relaxation response. And as you breathe, I'm going to quickly describe our bandhas. Those are energy seals. We seal in the energy. We lock in the energy. We seal in the energy. They're called bandhas. And there's three. When we engage all three, it's Malabandha. The first one is our Malabandha, and that is our pelvic floor. We're going to feel that engage. Feel it engage right now, and feeling a lift of that Mulabandha root lock, also called Kegels. And then we're going to go on to Uddiyana Bandha. That's on the belly here, right at the navel. We're going to feel that engage and move up a little bit. And Jalandhara Bandha. Chin comes in, and tongue is on the roof of the mouth. So continuing to breathe, take this moment to simply check in with yourself. How is the physical body? Where is it at? Without any judgment, without changing anything. We're just observing and scanning and checking in with ourselves. Noticing how you are energetically. Energetics of your being. That inner pratyahara, inner sensations and aliveness, pulsations, vibrations. And noticing the emotional body, the mental and emotional body. And taking this moment to set an intention for yourself. Putting that out into the universe as if that intention has already happened. Putting it in the positive and present moment. And as you set that intention silently to yourself, take a few breaths as you feel those emotions. Beautiful, beautiful job. And coming back. And let's come up to a standing position. Shaking out the arms and legs, just shaking out the body. And moving into some twists. And let's twist in the spine. Beautiful. And coming back to center position. And we're going to move into our breath of joy. So we're going to inhale the arms up, inhale the arms out, inhale the arms up to the sky, and then exhale the arms down. So inhaling chest height, open them up, open the heart all the way to the sky, and then exhale. So together. And one more time. And as you exhale, holding it and hanging down for a minute. Just allowing your body to rest in this nice forward fold. And we're going to do a little something different with our forward fold. We're going to keep the head and the arms down and just hinge up at the spine. Having the head be the last to come up. Beautiful. And let's tap that body, bring the circulation and the energy to the body. Nice, the abdomen, chest, the arms. Face. The head. And then come right back here to the tapping right here in this spot is activating your thymus gland. This is the gland that builds you immunities and helps you stay healthy. So if we continue to tap it a little every day, we keep it awake and it doesn't shrink as we age. So it's a good thing to tap. Beautiful job. We're going to begin in our sun salutation. It's a bit of a warm up anyways. So we're going to come to the front of our mats and those feet are hip width apart. And we are going to do Surya Namaskara C, and then we'll move into maybe some A and B. So let's go into our loops first, feeling the lift of the arches, and with the toes and rest them down. Shin loop, engaging those calves. Thigh loop, the energy is coming from below the knee all the way up. So feel a lift of the knee, engagement of the quadriceps, the energy goes back down. Pelvic loop, we're going to bring that pelvis neutral. Kidney loop, feel a lift of the ribs. Shoulder loop, chin comes parallel, the energy is coming up. Coming back, feel those shoulder blades squeeze together as the shoulders come back and it drops down. Feel those shoulders drop down away from the ears. And then crown loop, feel that crown extending up into the heavens. And let's bring those arms up. And go into a little back bend, lifting. And let's exhale, folding forward. And you can either have your hands on your hips, have giant angel wings, or you can bring the hands in close to your body. Finding your forward fold. And when you're coming into forward folds, you can use a couple blocks on either side. Or you can bring your hands down to the earth. You can bend your knees a little. And let's relax the head. And breathe into the belly. On your next inhale, coming up halfway. And exhale down. When you inhale, lifting the head, let's bring that left leg back. Our feet are like railroad tracks. We're in lunge. Bringing that knee right over the ankle. And hinging up into high lunge. You can stay in low lunge if you need. If you can challenge yourself to come up into high lunge, engaging those bandhas and breathe. And honoring this new day, honoring the sun, honoring the opportunity for life. One more breath. And exhaling down, and we're going to move into downward facing dog. Tailbone is lifting up to the heavens. And breathe. Hinging into a push-up position. And you can bring the knees down, or you can stay in a full push-up position, and we'll move into Chaturanga as we come all the way down onto the mat. And hands are right below the shoulders. I'm going to press the pelvis into the earth. That's my foundation. Using my back muscles, I'm going to lift up to a little back bend. And breathe. Nice back strengthener. Then pushing up into a table pose. Curl those toes under. Moving back into downward dog. Walk the dog a little bit here. Stretching those calves, bringing one heel at a time down to the earth. Opposite knee bends in. And breathe into the belly. And coming to center, you're going to bring that right foot up now, and you can either keep these hands down onto the earth, or you can come up into a nice high lunge. Squaring those hips, gauging those bandhas, and breathe. Bring in the prana. Again, you honor this new day, grateful for the opportunity to experience life in this magical physical plane. Inhale, reaching up, and exhale, bringing those hands down at the feet, bring the back foot up to the front into forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, and exhale down. Inhale, lifting the head, lifting the heart, and those arms up, going into a nice back bend. And let's do Surya Namaskara A this time. We're going to inhale into a back bend, exhale, folding forward, coming all the way down into forward fold. Uttanasana. Taking a breath here. Inhale up into half forward fold. And I think I need to start back here for our Surya Namaskara A. I apologize. Beautiful. And then moving back down into our forward fold. Up into half forward fold. And then we're going to move into plank. So bringing the hands down. We're going to move into a plank position, and you can drop the knees or keep the knees straight. And we're going to move into Chaturanga. Move right into Chaturanga. Pressing the pelvis in and lifting the head and the heart using those back muscles. Very little on the hands. They're just to stabilize for our Cobra. Beautiful. And taking a couple breaths here. And pushing up into up dog. Down dog, I'm sorry. Down dog into down dog. Bringing those heels down towards the mat in your downward facing dog. And breathing. And we're going to step both feet up and come into half forward fold. Dropping back down to forward fold. And we're going to be coming all the way up into our mountain as we lift the head, we lift the heart, coming all the way up. Feeling a nice back bend. Let's do this Surya Namaskara A one more time. Let's take a step back. So we have some room. It's a little different than C. Exhaling, hinging forward. Inhaling halfway up into half forward fold. Coming down into plank position. And all the way down into Chaturanga. Pressing those hips into the earth as you use those back muscles into Cobra. Exhaling down into down dog. Move into walking the dog here. Stretch those calves, bringing one heel down to the earth. Opposite knee bends in a little to give those calves a nice stretch. Downward facing dog. And looking up between the hands, we're going to step both feet up, back into a half forward fold. Dropping down into a forward fold. Honoring a new day, new opportunity, new shifts. Beautiful. And on your next inhale, lifting the head, lifting the heart, coming all the way up into a back bend, and bringing the hands in front of the chest for a moment as you center yourself. And we're going to move now into Surya Namaskara B, which is a little different. So we're going to move into our mountain, bringing the arms up, and we're going to move into a chair from this pose. So we're going to, and I'm going to move more mid in here. So we're going to come down as we bend the knees, bring the buttocks back, and arms up into a chair pose. Beautiful, finding that nice strengthener. Taking a couple breaths here. And we're going to move into forward fold, so straightening those legs and then hinging forward into your forward fold. And all the way down. And then taking a breath here. On your next inhale, coming up into half forward fold, feeling that spine stretch out away and the head away from the body so you get a nice little stretch on the spinal column. And those processes just opening up for yourself. And as we come down, we're going to come down again into a plank position. And move into our Chaturanga, so you can either bring the arms down or you can be in a full push-up position. And we're going to come into Cobra again, or if you like, you can come into Up Dog. Those are the options. With Cobra, we press the pelvis in. We use those back muscles to come up. If you'd like to choose Up Dog, you use your arms and your hands, and you're going to allow the body to come up, the pelvis to come up, and you're resting on your thighs, your knees, your shins. We're using the arm muscles for this instead of the back so much. And we're going to move now into down dog. So curl those toes under, lift those hips up, and moving into your down dog. Tailbone is sticking up into the sky, and let's do a little walking the dog. Beautiful. And coming back to center, looking between the hands, we're going to bring that right leg up, and we're going to move into lunge. So you can stay in your low lunge if you like, or you can move all the way up into a high lunge. Feet are parallel, squaring those hips, knee over the ankle. Engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath as you honor this opportunity for life. New day. And exhaling down, we're going to move back down into Chaturanga. Push up plank position and bending the elbows and coming down into Chaturanga. And moving into either your Cobra or your Up Dog. Finding which one works best for you in this. Keeping the breath flowing. Pushing into the hands, and we're going to move back into our downward facing dog. Tailbone is up to the sky, and breathe. If you like to walk the dog, feel free to do that. And we're going to move into a lunge again. We're going to take the left leg up between the hands. You can stay in your low lunge here, or if you like to move up into high lunge, knees over the ankle, arms come up, square those hips, engage those bandhas, and breathe. Opening up to new possibilities today, maybe something different than you've ever done before, or maybe doing the same thing a little differently, expanding into a new human being, a little more everyday, higher vibe. And exhaling, bringing those legs up into the half forward fold, forward fold, and lifting the head, lifting the heart, coming all the way up into the mountain pose. We're really doing the sun salutations today. Okay. So we're going to do one more Surya Namaskara C. And then let's do one more B. We've done two of each, I think. I'm sure. Let's face forward. And let's take a moment to center ourselves, feeling the feet between us. We'll just go down to the floor from here. Breathing into the belly. Allowing the mind to quiet and still. Feeling the feet fully grounded in the earth. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself for three things. And relaxing the arms. And let's shake out a little bit. Do some twists. Let's move into a balancing pose before we move down onto the floor. And I'd like to try eagle today. Let's practice eagle today. And one thing about eagles, we're going to be twisting the body up. And it's sometimes confusing to learn which arm goes under and which leg goes under. And the way that I've learned it is if my right leg is over, I'm bringing my right leg on top and the left leg is underneath. I do the same on the upper body. So my left leg is on top right now. So I'm going to take the arms and I'm going to have the left arm on top as I twist them. So the left leg's on top and the left arm is on top. And then bring those hands center into your body. And then bend those knees. If you can wrap that left foot behind the right leg, that's beautiful. If not, just be in your eagle here. Bringing those arms down now. So the hands are right in front of the face. Elbows are coming down. Squaring yourself. And engage the bandhas and breathe. One more breath. And release. And we're going to go to the other side. So I'm going to take the right leg over the left. If I could wrap that right foot behind the left leg, that would be optimal. And so the right leg is on top. So I'm going to have the right arm, so I'm bringing that on top. And then bring those elbows down, square those hands, and then let's bend those knees and come down. Squaring those hips and engage those bandhas and breathe. And releasing that. Beautiful job. Let's go into a little standing yoga nidra. We're going to bring the hands back behind us. We're going to hinge forward as we bring the arms up to the sky. Head comes down into a beautiful forward fold. The heart is the highest organ. We're honoring our heart. Honoring that organ of wisdom. Really allowing that to be our captain of this new day, these moments, these choices we make throughout the day. Let the wisdom of the heart guide us. Taking one more breath here. And releasing the hands. And bending the knees. We're going to come all the way onto a seated position. And we're going to move into balancing bear here. So we're going to be resting and balancing on our sacrum. And we're going to take these feet. Now I'm going to practice them one at a time first. And then we'll go into a full balancing bear. So you can have that right heel resting on the earth. We're going to take the left leg, the left hand on the outside of the left foot, and we're going to open that foot up. Feeling a nice stretch, nice opening of the hip, and continuing to breathe into the belly as we play around with this left leg stretching and opening. And these little subtle movements. Enjoying the sensation and bringing that foot down and moving to the other side. Opening up that that right leg. Moving the right leg around, stretching, breathing in the belly. And bring that right leg down. So now you can continue to go side to side, or if you want to bring both legs up together in the full balancing bear, we're going to lift both heels up off the earth. Both hands are wrapped around the outside of the feet, and we're going to open up those legs. And see how straight you can get those legs. A little micro bend. And engage the bandhas and breathe. Find a drishti, a point in front of you. It's not moving, to gaze your attention at. And releasing down. Beautiful. And we're going to stay balancing on that sacrum. We're going to move into a boat. So I like to move half boat, bringing those shins parallel to the floor and grabbing on to the backs of my thighs here, behind the knees to start. And then invite you to straighten the legs out, straighten the arms out, engage the bandhas, breathe, and find that drishti. One more breath. Coming back to a half boat here. And resting the heels. And I'm going to invite you, if you'd like, to do a few stomach exercises as we move into a dynamic boat. So do the best you can. It might be one or two. It might be none. It might be a few. So we're going to move into our boat. We're just going to move that boat, row that boat as we engage those abdomen muscles. A couple more. And then grab that half boat and come out. Beautiful job. Let's scoot up to the front of the mat. Move into some spinal rocks. And this is good only if you have enough padding. If you don't, just come down gently onto your back. Otherwise, you can bring your hands behind the knees here and just roll on your back. A nice massage on the spine. And eventually ending up flat on your back. Beautiful job. We're going to move into a bridge. So you're going to bring the hands down to the mat for a moment, palms down. And I like to first do a little warm up with a half bridge, pressing into the feet, lifting those hips halfway into a two-legged table, and pelvic lift here, and just taking a few breaths, feeling these beautiful sensations, honoring this new beautiful day, full of life, feeling that gratitude for all the possibilities, new life, and coming down one vertebrae at a time. And this next time we're going to go into a faux bridge, pressing into the feet and lifting those hips, and we're going to arch the back. We're going to come up onto the shoulder blades. Clasp the hands underneath you if you can, or you can have them straight out on the mat. And it's easier to clasp them underneath if your shoulders can do that. Watch the knees so they're still remain hip width apart. Don't flop out. Let's engage those bandhas and breathe. One more breath. And on your exhale, releasing the hands, releasing the shoulders, and coming down one vertebra at a time. And bringing those knees into the chest. And let's rock back and forth as we release that lower back. You bring those legs up to a little inversion, spinning a nice vacation on those veins. They can allow gravity to bring the blood back to the heart. And then I invite you, if you'd like to move into half shoulder stand, lifting those hips, grabbing the small of the back, bringing those feet so that right up above the face. And breathe. Nice little variation if you'd like to try in your half shoulder stand is bringing one foot down to the earth at a time. And also bring the feet out to the side. I don't have very far to go over here. And then if you'd like to hinge over into plow, I like to stay so the legs are parallel to the earth to protect the lower back. Keeping that breath in the belly. And tucking those knees and legs in. And let's roll down one vertebra at a time. Beautiful job. Let's go into Badakanasana first, bringing the soles of the feet together. Knees are out, and then you can gently pull the feet in towards the body, opening up the hips. And breathing into the belly as you engage those bandhas and build the prana. And opening up those feet so the soles of the feet are facing the sky. Knees are out wide and pulling those feet and knees into the body. Feeling nice hip opening on both sides. And breathe. And then releasing those feet and just moving around, playing around in happy baby. Doing what feels good. Just like a baby, just enjoying moving and stretching and being in the body. This is how babies embody their limbs. As you feel the stretching of the muscles, bring your awareness there. Walk back and forth a little bit. And finishing up with your baby. And bringing the feet onto the mat. Knees are up. Move into our releases. Find those hips. The small of the back, the buttocks, everything is going to be resting flat on the earth. Nothing lifts up off the earth or the mat. We're just going to be swiveling those hips. So begin to feel that left hip drop down towards the left heel and the right hip coming up towards the right shoulder. And then swiveling to the opposite direction. So feeling that left hip coming up towards the shoulder as you feel the right hip dropping down to the right heel. And continuing swiveling these hips flat on the back, on the earth, nothing lifts up. Just a beautiful swiveling of that hip and spine. Nice slow movements, fully present to all the sensations. And breathe. Coming back to center. And now we're going to move into hip pointers. So we are going to lift one hip and buttocks up off the earth at a time. So feel that right hip and right buttocks grounded into the earth. And let's lift the left hip and point that up towards the sky. So the buttocks is going to lift up as well. And releasing down. Moving to the other side. And releasing down. Continuing to move in your hip pointers. Fully present to the sensation in the hips, the lower back. Keeping that breath and that prana flowing. Taking a moment to really contemplate. You have an entire new day every day. How will you honor that time? How will you fulfill your purpose of extending only love throughout this day towards yourself first and foremost, and then of course to all you meet and all life. Coming back to center. Now we're going to move into some cat-cow on the earth. So let's go into our cat first as we press the small of the back into the earth, tucking the tailbone under, flexion of the spine. And then moving into our cow as we arch that back up off the earth, sticking that tailbone into the earth. And your back may not lift up, but your spine is lifting up off the earth, extension of the spine, and moving back and forth in our cat and cow, flexion and extension. And breathe, engage those bandhas. Fully present to this now moment and all the beautiful sensations that are being created. Honoring this moment we've been given to experience life in this third dimensional reality, allowing our consciousness to move up into higher dimensions of reality, lifting the veil, opening up to multi-dimensions, here now. Coming back to center. And the knees are going to remain up. We're going to keep those knees up as we just begin to walk those feet a little wider, a little further apart, keeping the knees up. And so the feet get all the way out to the wide edges of your yoga mat. If you're on the earth, just wide enough to begin to drop one knee at a time into the center. And find your edge here. Feels right. We never go into pain. We never force. We always allow the body to open. And breathe into that belly. Fully present with yourself and sensation. Basking in your own inner nectars. And coming back to center and walking those feet back together. And let's drop both knees over to one side or the other. Together, lift that top knee up, bringing it over to the other side and allowing that bottom knee to follow. So both knees are stacked on the opposite side, lifting the top knee up, bringing it over. Nice slow movements. Double knee drop. Or if you prefer, you can keep those knees together and windshield wiper them back and forth or anything in between. Breathing. And coming back to center. We're going to bring those knees into the chest. For one final release of the lower back, rocking back and forth. And getting ready now for our final Savasana, extending the legs out. Bringing those legs a little wider than hip width. Bringing the arms out alongside the body, palms up. And letting the physical body completely relax and sink into the earth. Feeling the body become heavy as you feel all the muscles releasing any tensions or any holding or tightness, just becoming completely relaxed, sinking deep into the earth. Breathing into that belly, allowing all the systems in the body to relax, feeling the bones relax, feeling the digestive organs relax, the lungs and the respiratory system relaxed, resting, sinking into that deep sense of peace, feeling the heart and the circulatory system, letting go. Endocrine system, feel that organ of the skin relax, respiratory system, that reproductive system. Let's relax the brain, the mind, allow that brain tissue to relax, that spinal column, deep sense of stillness come over the body as we relax in silent stillness. And beginning to take a deep breath into the belly. Breathing into the belly, wiggling the fingers and toes, stretching out the arms and legs. Coming over to one side or the other. Taking a nice breath here on your side. Then moving yourself up into a seated position. And take this moment now to check back in with your own being, your own energy. Releasing the physical body, the inner energies in the prana body, inner and outer energies, subtle energies. Pranamaya kosha. Diving into that manamaya kosha, the mental emotional being. And move into the Vijnanamaya kosha as you bring your single point of focus to that intention we set at the beginning of practice, allowing yourself to bask also in the Manamaya kosha, the emotions of that intention. And coming back, we'll conclude with a namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, and of peace. And when you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for Surya Namaskara. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day.